Today's episode of Namaste Yoga continues our Durga series. Hello and welcome to episode 183 of Namaste Yoga. We're continuing our Durga series with Brahmacharini Durga, and today we're going to be talking about the discipline of grace. We're here in a beautiful bird sanctuary, one of Tim's favorite places on earth to be. This is where he takes all his pictures of owls and where we spend lots of time watching the birds and going for hikes in the forest. And there are some purple martins in this bird house right here, and you'll see them come in and out of this house all through the show today, I'm sure. So today I wanted to start this show by thanking all our translators for translating episodes of Namaste Yoga into various languages. This week I was incredibly touched when we went live with our translation of Namaste Yoga into Russian. So thank you, Olga, for your translation of Namaste Yoga into Russian. Namaste Yoga 101 for beginners has been translated into 4 languages now: Russian, Italian, Spanish, and it is being translated into Finnish as well. So it's really exciting. I'm just so incredibly touched by the kindness and generosity of our translators, and I wanted to thank each and every one of them today. So thank you, Olga, for your translations into Russian. Thank you, and Maya, for your translation into Finnish. Thank you, Eva, for your translations into Spanish. Thank you, Gabriela, for your translations into Spanish. Thank you, Claudia, for your translations into Spanish. Thank you, Marta. She started it all with her translations into Spanish. And thank you, Serena, for your translations into Italian. These people are just helping us reach people around the world with their translations into Italian, Spanish, Finnish, Russian. And, we would invite any of you who would like to translate episodes of Namaste Yoga into whatever language you would like to email us, get in contact with us. We'll put the link in the show notes. There's a contact form we have on our website if you're interested in translating an episode yourself. So we would love that. I would like to also thank Squeezed Yoga Clothing. We had a huge photo shoot last Saturday, and today I'm wearing a sale item. This won't be for everybody, but there are some super bright capri pants in extra small that are available for sale. They were a limited edition item that were made for some studio somewhere in Asia. And so they fit me, and they'll fit some other extra small people who have very difficult times, I know, finding clothes that fit you. So Donna has some clothes that will fit you on her Squeezed Yoga clothing site at squeeze.ca. So go there, grab them up while they're available. There's some super other cute bright colors available, and make sure you get some clothes that fit you, because I know it feels awful when your clothes are falling off you. Also, she has new clothes available too, and those of you that saw the pictures on her Facebook page and our Facebook page, there's shorts available and there's skirts available now. You saw those on my Living Your Yoga videos when we did our juicing videos and our smoothie videos and our questions that you asked this week. I was wearing the skirts. They're so great, and I'll probably be wearing my shorts next week. So definitely check those out. And also thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. Today you're going to need lots of props. You're going to need a block, You're going to need a strap and you're going to need a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can roll up a blanket or use a sleeping bag or get some cushions. You can make your own. You're also going to need a Rudraksh mudra mala for your mudra today. If you have a mala with 108 beads on it, you can grab it. We're going to be using it today for our chanting. Okay, so you can go ahead and rest back and we'll begin our teachings today. Brahmacharini Durga is the second form of Durga who is celebrated on the second day of Navratri. Brahmacharini means one who practices devout austerity. She is known for her divine grace. She holds the Rudraksh Mala, the rosary, in her right hand and a Kamandala water vessel in her left, which is said to represent a simple and self-contained life. She is known to bring happiness, peace, prosperity, and grace to her devotees. Brahmacharini Durga is filled with bliss and is considered the way to Moksha. Moksha meaning freedom. Brahm and tapa together with charini means the one who forms tapa or penance. Brahmacharini incarnated as the daughter of the Himalayas and then performed many challenging penances to obtain Shiva as part of her consort, meaning husband. Brahmacharini spent 1,000 years eating only fruits and beetroots. Then, for the next 100 years, she ate only leafy vegetables. For a long period of time, observing a complete fast, she suffered the tormenting of nature like torrential downpours and scorching sun and biting cold under the open sky. After such a difficult routine, she lived only on dry bel patras, which is a bell leaf used as Ayurvedic medicine, fallen on the ground for 3,000 years. She kept herself completely engrossed in her worship for 24 hours a day by focusing on Lord Shiva. After that, she gave up eating those dry leaves. For several thousand years, she went on without any food or water. Because she gave up eating dry bilva leaves, she was also known to be the Aparna as one of her epithets. After the hardship of penance for several thousand years, her body became extremely lean and thin. She was reduced to skeleton only. Her penance, sharpened as it was, caused great disturbance in all three worlds. The whole universe was shaken. The gods, the rishis, the siddhas, the munis all eulogized her penance as an unprecedented virtuous action. Ultimately, Lord Brahma, though an oracle, addressed her and said to her in a very pleasant manner, "O goddess, so far nobody has ever practiced such an austere penance. Only you could have done it. This wonderful deed is being praised in all the four quarters. Your desire would be fulfilled. You will decidedly get Lord Shiva as your divine consort. Now stop your penance and go home." So what is the point of this story? What are we to learn from it? What are we to take away from such a fable? Are we to perform such austere penances for years on end to ultimately have boons bestowed upon us from the gods? Probably not. I'm not advocating that at all. What this story teaches us is that by living a life of simplicity and commitment to discipline, we will be rewarded. So take a moment now and reflect on the times in your life that you have been rewarded for your consistency in striving towards your goals, restraint, ethical conduct, self-discipline, self-control, or abstinence. It might have been the discipline of going to bed an hour earlier so you could get more rest. It might have been getting up an hour earlier to practice your meditation. It might have been the discipline of going for a daily run. Perhaps it was giving up sugar. Maybe it was making sure you had fresh greens with every meal. Now reflect on how you were compensated for those habits in your body, mind, spirit, emotions, and energy. Often when we think of tapas, we think of gritting our teeth and efforting our way through the toughest postures. But what would it be like to bring the discipline of tapas and cultivate the grace of Brahmacharini? I'm thinking about how my friend and yoga instructor Anita Goa says, let's be serious about taking ourselves lightly. Today, and in the weeks, days, months, and years ahead, what would it be like to be disciplined about bringing grace, balance, dignity, elegance, and ease into our lives? So go ahead and set your intention for your practice. What is it that you would like to receive from your yoga today? So my intention is to bring the tapas to grace. So you can stay resting back. We're going to begin with hand to big toe pose, which, thanks to my Sanskrit teacher, I know I have been saying wrong for a long time now. And so she gently and kindly corrected me. It's Supta Padangustasana, not Supta Pandagustasana. So Supta Padangustasana. So for that, you will need your strap. And you can go ahead and hook up your right foot and draw your leg. And we're going to be preparing for Ardha Chandrasana, which will be coming later. Very graceful pose. So this is part of the discipline of creating grace later, doing these preparatory poses. And then keeping your left leg connected to the ground, your left hip connected to the ground. Bring the grace of Brahmacharini with you as you slowly open your right leg out to the side. Breathing. Keeping the stretch in the belly of your inner thigh muscle, not in your knee joint. Breathing. And then draw up through your pelvic floor. Use the tapas of drawing your strength in so you can have the grace of drawing your leg back to your midline. Draw your leg in again and begin to slowly cross it over your body. Supta Padangustasana. And then bringing the grace of Brahmacharini with you, slowly lower your leg back down to the ground. Take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And take a moment to receive your practice. Great, and then go ahead and switch sides. Okay, so find the center of your heel on your right leg. Press the top of your thigh bone back towards the ground. And then with grace, draw your left leg in. Honoring the difference between both sides. And open your left leg out to the side, drawing on the grace of Brahmacharini. Stopping when you feel sensation on your inner thigh. Pressing your right leg back into the ground. And then engage your core strength for stability here. Draw up through your pelvic floor. Draw your navel back to your spine. Slowly draw your left leg back to your midline. Draw your left leg in again and slowly begin to cross it over your midline. Breathing. Feel the ease and steadiness in this posture. I can hear the purple, what are they called again, Tim? Purple martins. Draw your left leg back towards your midline and slowly lower your left leg down, avoiding any purple martins on the way down. It sounds like they're that close. I hear you. Release your strap. Okay, we're going to do that half keyhole, half reclined hero stretch today. We haven't done it in a few weeks, but I've noticed a lot of people have commented on it on YouTube and on my website. And so I thought I'd bring it back in. And it's a great one to prepare for some of the poses we're going to be doing today. So first we'll do the half keyhole, then we'll do the half reclined heroes, then we'll put it together. So bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Open your right knee out to the side. Draw your left leg in towards your chest. Reach through the keyhole. Hold on behind your leg until you feel, and draw it in until you feel stretch in your outer thigh and in your glutes, in your buttocks. And if you can't reach that, you can always use your strap here. Remember, modifications and props are always better choices for you, not less than postures. And then you can release this hip stretch on this side, and we'll go ahead and do this hip and glute stretch on the other side. So you cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh, open your left knee out to the side. Slowly draw your right knee in towards your chest until you feel something on the outside of your left thigh and into your glutes. Reach your hands through the keyhole, hold on the back of your knee, and draw your legs in towards your chest. And remember, it's totally fine to use a strap here. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Okay, release your legs down, and for this one you may need a block to fill the space. So the way this works is you internally rotate your right leg and you, that would be the boring soccer injury that nobody wants to hear about from being a soccer mom. Wow, look how high that is. You might need a bolster. So you can fill this there. That is perfect for me today. Fill the space. There's nothing wrong with you. Something wrong with the floor. Just fill the space. Most of you won't need a bolster, but you could use a block here. So you want to feel the stretch in the belly of your muscle, belly of your quadricep muscle here. Not in your knee, not on the inside of your knee joint. It's really important. And you're working on, the action here is reaching your leg bone long out of your hip joint, not pushing it towards the ground. This is my soccer kicking leg. No rolly eyes behind the camera, Tim. Such an athlete. That's me. Okay, and then slowly release the half reclined hero's pose from this side. And then we'll go ahead and do it on the other side. So hopefully I might be able to give you a more accurate portrayal of what this pose looks like on this side. So internally rotate your left leg and bring your knee towards the ground. Again, feeling the stretch in the belly of the muscle. Filling the space with a block. Reaching your leg away from your hip bone. Apparently, I've been focusing on strength in my practice to the detriment of my flexibility. Building a 7-day strength building series for my members right now. It's going to be epic. We're going to start filming that probably next week. It's going to be 7 20-minute classes. Let me see if I can remember them all. There's core, back, biceps, triceps, chest, butt, and something else. I'm missing one. Legs? I don't know. I'm missing one. Abs. I said core. Anyway, one for each day of the week, and they're 20-minute classes, so they love those. Yeah, those are requested classes. It kind of combines a bunch of requests. So they wanted more classes they can do in the morning. They wanted more core strengthening classes, and they wanted strengthening classes. So I take their requests seriously. I put all those requests together, and I thought that would knock off their requests for morning classes, core classes, and strengthening classes. Okay, come on out of this pose. Now we're going to combine those two, and I want you to make sure you keep filling space here. So I'm going to pull in this bolster again. So internally rotate your right leg. Fill the space with a block or your bolster. And then you're going to use your half keyhole leg on top for extra weight. So half reclined heroes with keyhole on the top. And then slowly release that. And we'll do this on the other side. So half reclined keyhole, half reclined hero with keyhole legs on the top. And then slowly release, and we're going to make our way up onto all fours. So on all fours, take your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And let's begin with cat pose here. Exhale, round up through your back, and then inhale and arch through your back. And really focus on the grace of Brahmacharini here. So exhale, shift back, inhale, arch, and come forward. So calling on the grace of Brahmacharini. as you move through these cat poses. And then tuck your toes under. We're going to do Ik Pad Raj Kapotasana. In other words, pigeon. Come into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Reach your right leg up and behind. Open your hip up. Take your right knee forward. Bring it to your right wrist. Reach your left leg long behind you. And then fold forward. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders, and with grace and ease, inhale, tuck your tailbone under and lift your spine into the back bending version of pigeon. Ik Pada Raj Kapotasana. And tuck your left toes under. Reach back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. And then reach your left leg back and up. And with the grace of Brahmacharini, bring your left knee forward to your left wrist. Reach your right leg back and long. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward over your bent left knee. Sleeping pigeon. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your tailbone under, and then with grace and ease, inhale, lift your spine up. So we practice grace and ease in our bodies. So when you feel it on the physical level, then it also translates into your life. It translates into your life and your emotions, into your thoughts, into your spirit, into your energy. Okay, so let's practice some other poses to bring grace. Come and sit to the long side of your mat with your right leg bent and your left leg straight. Place your right hand behind your left buttocks And you're going to inhale, arc your left arm up, and exhale, lower it down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So to me, this pose and these movements embody grace. And one more. And then we'll switch sides, so you bend your right knee and extend your left leg out in Janu Shirshasana. Take your left hand by your left buttocks and arc your right arm up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And one more. Great. And from here, we'll come into downward facing dog and make our way up to standing. Okay, from standing, we're going to practice half moon balancing pose, Ardha Chandrasana. So this pose is a balancing pose. This is kind of great. We've got this bench here because I can show you how to use the bench for balancing. Also, you can use a block, or you don't have to use anything at all. One of my members asked me this week, do you have to use a block in half moon balancing pose? And the answer is no, you don't, because I always show it with the block, but you don't. So let's look at a few ways of doing it. We'll show it with a bench, which could show you how to do it with a chair. And I'll show you without, and I'll show you with a block. Maybe we'll look at a few different ways. So let's start on your right leg. And this would be with a block. And maybe we'll come into it from triangle pose. So step back with your left leg. And bring your arms up to parallel to the ground. Press your left hip back, hinge forward. Take your hand on the chair and reach up. Then you could bend your left knee, bend your right knee, bring your left leg up. Use the chair for balance. And open up. And if your balance feels really good, you can turn your head and look up at your hands, especially if you're inside, because the sun won't be in your eyes. So you can also do this pose with a block. So you place the block about a foot in front of your right foot. You lift your back leg up. Open your hip, bring your arm up. Find this great for stability. But you also don't need to use the block. So you just place your hand on the ground. For people who have really flexible hamstrings and hips, probably don't need it. So let's also practice the pose on the other side, Ardha Chandrasana. And then we're going to practice a variation on it. So, I'm going to use the block on this side. Take the block in front of your foot. Lift your back right leg up. Keep your eyes on the ground. Open your right arm up. Okay, and then go ahead and release this posture from your body. Going to go back to the first side. So here's the variation we're going to do today. We're going to do Ardha Chandrasana with Anjali Mudra hands. That's an option. So you can stay with the Ardha Chandrasana that you were doing with your hands on the block. If you want to challenge yourself, and this is going to require a lot of internal core strength, so drawing up your core internally, then you can use your Anjali Mudra here. Okay, so this isn't like muscling it core, but it's poise from within. Okay, so poise. So it's that grace and poise that I think of when I think of Brahmacharini. So let's try it. I'm going to call on Brahmacharini to help me with this now that I've built it up. So we're going to stand on your right foot. Place your block down in front of you. Not even going to use that block. Bring your left arm up. Okay, so here is where you imagine that zipper. Lift up through your pelvic floor. Lift up through your... Draw your navel back to your spine. Okay, so here's the option. Namaste hands. So that does take a lot of core strength to do that. Okay. So, try it on the other side. So smile and breathe when you do it too. Okay, so the block to set it up. Your right leg behind you. So, do that zipper. If you ever did Pilates, remember your Pilates. Lift up through your pelvic floor, draw your navel back to your spine. Okay, so then you're going to let go of that block. And just try. It doesn't matter. You're just going to do your best. It's not performance. Okay, release that from your body. So that is the grace of Brahmacharini. You imagine all what it took to eat only bell leaves for thousands of years. So, okay. So that is the kind of tapas that we're talking about to create that kind of grace in our lives. So there is the Ardha Chandrasana. Oh, now we're going to do downward facing dog to come down to do some beautiful reclined back bends. So that's Ardha Chandrasana. And now we're going to come through downward facing dog to come down and do some beautiful reclined back bends. So come to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward through your hips. Walk your feet back. And we'll just hang in Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then come on down. And here's where you're going to need your bolster. So take your bolster. And I'm going to give you a choice here. And this choice is because the first choice is not the best option for everybody's body. So the other choice might be a better option for your body. So the first choice is Supta Virasana. You're going to, if this works for your knees is going to be the issue for some people. You sit down between your heels and then you lie back over your bolster. And you can stack this up higher. So that's the first choice, reclined hero's pose. And see how I'm coming out of this pose? This is the correct way to come out of this pose, like this. Now, the second choice, if that is not for your body, is going to be reclined Baddha Konasana. So reclined bound angle pose. So you bring the soles of your feet together. You take the blocks underneath your knees, whether you need them or not, because that is a safer position for your SI joints to have this supported. If your knees can go wider, you still support your knees with the blocks, okay? And you rest back over your bolster. We talk about this blocks under your knees in my yoga for your SI joint video if you want to know more about that. Okay, so you're slowly going to find a way out of your reclined back bend. If you're in Supta Varasana, you're going to come forward like I showed you. If you're in Baddha Konasana, you're going to slowly bring your knees together and roll to your side and come up to seated. Take your legs out in front of you and bend your left leg, extend your right leg. Sit up nice and tall and rotate to your left. Take your right arm to the outside of your left knee. And then come back to center. We're going to fold forward here. Janu Shirshasana. And then hinge back up and switch your legs so that your left leg goes straight out in front of you. Find the center of your heel. Lift up tall through your spine. Inhale. Exhale from the base of your spine, from your pelvis, rotate towards your right side. Take your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, hinge forward over your right leg. And then slowly hinge back up and come to a comfortable seated position. And grab your malas. Okay, for our mantra today, we're going to chant Om 108 times with our Rudraksh malas. So there are 108 beads on your mala. And the reason for this are many, but I'll tell you a few of them. It has to do with your heart chakra. The chakras are intersections of energy lines, and there is said to be a total of 108 energy lines converging from the heart chakra. One of them, the Sushumna, leads to the crown chakra and is said to be the path of self-realization. Pranayama, it's said if one is able to be so calm in meditation as to have only 108 breaths in a day, enlightenment will come. Nadis are like in energy intersections called chakras, except to have fewer energy lines converging from them. And there are said to be 108 nadis in the energy body. And goddesses' names, there are said to be 108 Indian goddesses' names. And in Hinduism, 108 is said to refer to the number of Hindu deities. And some say that each of the deities have 108 names, which is true. They seem to have so many incarnations, so that would make total sense to me. So while we chant Om 108 times, and we're not going to do big, long, huge breath Oms because we'd be here forever, so we're going to do kind of continuous Oms. We're going to use the buddhi mudra, which is the mudra for fluid balance in your body, thumb and pinky finger together. Rest it on your left knee. Okay. And we will chant Om 108 times as you just move through your mala with your thumb. So, you know, we've done it 108 times. If you don't have a mala, then you can just chant with me. We'll know when we're done. Okay? So let's make space with a breath and a sigh. Om, 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 Just sit with that for a moment. And then you can choose to finish your practice seated, or you can go ahead and rest back in Savasana. So gradually deepen your breath, wiggle your fingers and toes. Start to invite movement back into your body. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side and slowly make your way up to seated. Thank you for joining me for episode 183 of Namaste Yoga on Brahmacharini Durga on the discipline of grace. Carrie is going to be continuing this theme in her weekly challenges on the membership site this week. So you can check that out. She's going to be working with the number 108. So definitely check that out if you're a member. If you're not, we'd love to have you as a member of our community. Namaste.